And welcome aboard here to the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. Manager Joop bringing you the action here tonight. A little double header action here from Southwood. It's Florida High. The girls' side will be hosting Rickards. And on the boys' side, it will be Florida High hosting Childs. So we're going to get a little double trouble here, ready for prime time. Should be a fantastic matchup here for us this evening. Of course, we're going to start with the girls here at 5 o'clock, getting ready to get rolling for us on a highly anticipated matchup. Really excited about it. It's going to be senior night here for Florida High. So, of course, you can see a number of seniors going to be honored here this evening. Of course, including Ava Dubois, who is headed to McNeese State next year. So she's going to be headlining the Seminoles, but they're going to have to handle a absolute dynamite performer here for Rickards. It's going to be Patrice Drayton. She, of course, is on a scoring frenzy, averaging over 3 goals a game. She currently has 40 goals in the 2022-2023 campaign, and she ranks 9th in the nation, 5th in the state of Florida here, leading the Rickards Raiders. So it's going to be a really exciting action for us today. So we'll transition here, and we'll try to bring up a little graphic of exactly what we are talking about here between these two star players. But you want to look at, of course, Patrice Drayton, known affectionately as B here for the Rickards Raiders. Unreal statistics here this year. Like you can see, as we said, 9th in the nation here in goals for, and of course, a lot of other superlatives. Goals per match, 2nd in the state of Florida. Just an absolutely great player this season and has been doing huge things here for the Rickards Raiders. Like you can see, the last 3 matches, a combined 16 goals for Big B. 6, 2, and 8, of course, against their opponents, who were Hamilton, Jefferson County, and Gabi, respectively. Of course, going to be a high-flying Rickards Raiders offense, and like you said, she's going to be leading the charge here today. But it's going to be dependent on formation. Of course, talking to Coach Ruschenberg earlier in the week, he said we could see her a little all over the field, may start out on defense. It's deciding on game flow and kind of the plan of attack here. So very talented player. If I had a vote for Big Band Player of the Year, I think it would be going to Patrice Drayton. But, of course, it's going to be a fun one out here tonight. You can see some of the other scoring players here. Natalia Garcia-Sufrant, of course, for Florida High, 3 goals, 4 assists herself. So a solid performance there. She's going to be leading the attack here. But we talked about Ava Dubois, of course, for Florida High, one of the seniors, one of 4 seniors being honored here tonight. Martinez, Williamson, Dubois, Russell going to be honored. So they will be honored at halftime here from Florida High. So if you're a little late tuning in, all right, you'll still see the seniors honored here at the break here for what will be a fantastic matchup here this evening. Like we said, prime time here on a Friday night. And there's the seniors. They are, of course, thank you to the Florida High soccer staff for providing with those earlier in the week. But those are going to be the 4 seniors honored here tonight on what is actually a young Florida High squad. Of course, had a chance to catch up with the Seminoles here pregame as we were getting to Mike Hickman Stadium down here in Southwood early as always, but had a chance to catch up with Coach V, of course, Coach Victoria Saxon, her 4th season here with the Florida High Seminoles. But, of course, one of the things is young team here. So don't be fooled by the 4 seniors here. Of course, they lost a graduating class of a dozen seniors last year, but they're still flying high this year. And kind of a surprise here in the Big Bend. Solid 8-5 record. Good competitions against some of the major schools, against the Leons, the McClays of the area, and some of those other more high-profile traditional soccer schools. So Florida High rocking and rolling here in the 2022-2023 season. So it's going to be part of our showcase here, as we can see the pre-match logo there. We're about 5 minutes here from the jump from Mike Hickman Stadium here on the campus of Florida High. Senior night here rolling for both of these teams. We can go back on some previous results we had for these teams here this season. Like we said, Florida High 8-5 on the year. The Rickards Raiders, 1 loss in 12 matches here this season, 10-1-1. Of course, head coach Jeff Ruschenberg really excited about his group and what they've been able to accomplish. Back-to-back seasons now with 10-plus wins here for the Rickards Raiders. And they are undefeated in their last 8 matches. So form is at a premium right now for the Rickards Raiders. Of course, on a goal-scoring frenzy, you talk about the last 5 games, absolutely relentless, outscoring opponents 25-1 in those previous 5 matchups. Over on the other side, look at Florida High. Of course, won 4 out of their last 6, so some good form coming here from Florida High as well. Close competition against McClay here, but victories against Taylor County, Wakulla, Hamilton in that stretch. Played a really big one against Childs, and good competition really early on that stretch as they are 6-4 in their last 10 matches. Picking up back in the early season a 1-0 victory over Leon. Of course, it is an interesting matchup here tonight. We were talking to Florida High. Some changes we'll see formationally here. So as these young players that we talked about, the youth for Florida High, continue to emerge in their high school careers and fall into form here at the high school level, we will see some changes. So we're anticipating a 3-5-2 being shown here from Coach V and the Seminoles on senior night. Want to try to control the middle, and that is the strength of this Rickards Raiders attack. Of course, they're going to go right up the middle for you. It's going to be led by Gabrielle Beamer, and like we said, Patrice Drayton. Back in goal, good keeper here for the Rickards Raiders. Olani McIntosh going to be between the pipes here for the Raiders. So be interested to see how Florida High kind of establishes their possession here, if they can try to control the middle, and they're really confident in that young back line here that has been emerging so far for them this season. Of course, when you talk about the back line, of course, a player of emphasis, just a 7th grader this year, is going to be Kanika Bezos, who has emerged as just an absolute rock star. The maturation and just the grinding that she's done here to work hard and get up to a level. And back there on the back line for Florida High, she's really been able to lock it down and solidify things for them. So they're really excited about what they're able to do, and allows this formational change where Coach V is confident going 3 in the back so they can flood forward. So an interesting twist also going on here tonight. We talked about how it's senior night, and of course that's one and everything here. But one of the twists that we have here on senior night is a tradition in the Coach V era is to have the seniors coach the team. So she will be, as she says, sitting on the bench, little to no words or activities from her, and this is going to be a senior-led operation as they try to get things together. Have a little fun here on senior night, but as Coach V was very emphatic about saying that they know that there's still business to be taken care of. Of course, they're getting ready for districts, and they will host districts here, of course, in the coming weeks as we get ready for the postseason. And, of course, they've got their eyes on the McClay Marauders here this year. So it'll be fun to see what we have of this matchup as we have the coin toss going over on the other side. Or not the coin toss, a little meet at midfield here as we get ready to go underway. So, of course, for senior night, we have a little bit of abbreviated game. We're going to go 35-minute halves here. Of course, they want to allow a little more time here for senior night. Of course, like we said, 4 seniors being honored here this evening, but they're going to do those celebrations at halftime instead of the traditional pregame. So in order to allot that, because this is a doubleheader, as you know, here for the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week, we wanted to get the guys and the girls out here tonight. The boys' game starting at 7, of course, so they had to make sure that everything was taken care of. So, like we said, 35-minute halves as opposed to the usual 40. but it'll be an entertaining matchup, as we said. So Florida High is going to be in the all-black uniforms here tonight. And, of course, on the other side, the Rickards Raiders will be going in their all-white uniforms here. So, of course, these two teams, been a minute since they have played each other. No previous matchups here this season, but according to the Max Peps rankings, this is the toughest matchup that Rickards will have all season so far. So it'll be interesting for them, of course, coming forward, but some big-time play coming out of the south side here this year. Like we said, second season in a row with 10-plus wins here for the Rickards Raiders. And, of course, Patrice Drayton. We talked about kind of the notes, the statistics that you need to be aware of, and just kind of in the area for comparison. We talked about her being 9th in the nation in scoring here in the winter season. She has 40 goals, 10 assists for 90 points here. And the next best here in the area is running right about 60. So about 50% more than the next highest performer here. She's been, like we said, on an absolute tear, and she's going to be the nucleus of the operation here for a young, developing Rickards Raiders team as well. So, of course, some good experience here on both sides for these teams. The youth movement is well and alive down here in Southwood. Of course, the local Florida High Seminoles, and then the pride of the south side, the Rickards Raiders. So it should be a fantastic Friday night showcase here for us tonight. So before we get off and rolling, we're going to jump out here for a quick commercial break, and then by the time we come back, we should be ready for halftime, or excuse me, for kickoff.
Marijuana can impair your ability to drive, and that affects much more than just you. Drive baked, get busted.
All right, and welcome back here to Southwood here on the campus of Florida High. Getting ready to rock and roll for a primetime showcase Friday night. Getting ready soon to be under the lights. Of course, the sun's still setting here in beautiful Tallahassee, Florida, the capital of the Sunshine State. If you're just joining us, thank you for coming aboard for the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. Andrew Joop along with you here. We have the 10-1-1 Rickards Raiders and the 8-5 Florida High Seminoles going at it. It is senior night here on campus of Florida High. Seniors to be honored here at halftime. Of course, the starting lineup's just announced. National anthem has been played, and we are getting ready to rock and roll here. Doubleheader action if you're joining us here tonight. Of course, like we said, Rickards, Florida High at the moment, and then around 7 o'clock, the number 7 team in the state, the Charles Timberwolves on the boys' side, will play the Florida High boys here. So, of course, to start off, Florida High, of course, in all black. Of course, with the white numerals and white trim, they will be going left to right in the first half. And on the other side, the Rickards Raiders in all white. They will be going from right to left. Of course, it should be a high-profile matchup here. And just in case you're wondering, we are doing 35-minute halves here tonight. Of course, due to the senior night activities, we would typically get 40-minute halves, but we will be playing 35 here tonight as Florida High will kick things off and get us started. Cabezas going to get some touches here for Florida High as the Seminoles start to get things rolling on the attack, of course, with that 3-5-2 formation. Touched by Laura Pierce as the Seminoles start to work things around. And they will try to hold a little bit of possession here, but, of course, they are trying to fall into this new formation with the 3-5-2 here. Cabezas gets a little touch and a nice little centering ball there to Russell. Back out of Cabezas. Down into the attacking third. Rickards defense steps in and will intervene out for a corner. So Florida High, of course, the first offensive prod here to start things in the opening moments. Still first minute of action here. Florida High on the attack, but a good little defensive effort there by Butterfield and company here. Short corner coming for Florida High. Just outside the corner of the 18, looking for some service. Left-footed ball right at the keeper, and McIntosh is up to the task. Of course, Coach Rauschenberg talked about McIntosh. Good skill, he says, from the keeper. One of his 3 or 4 top players here from the roster. This one gets all the way to the back line here. Will be dropped off one initially well by the Rickards Raiders. A little centering ball here, poke free. Touch of the ball there by Ellis, and it'll be out for a Florida High throw-in. So, of course, number to watch here, Drayton, number 12. Looks like Coach Rauschenberg has her started at sweeper here to start things off, but be ready and wary when she gets into the offensive attack. Like we said, number 9 in the nation in goals for. 40 goals netted so far this season, averaging 3.3 goals per match here for the Raiders. Throw in to get things started here. Basis will get it rolling and cycle back around here for Florida High. On over to the far side here. Some new touches here for the Seminoles. Contreras with a touch, and this one's poked free here by the Rickards Raiders defense. Service up to the top line, looking for Ellis, but it'll be won back well here by Florida High. Once again, sauntering into the attacking third. Here's Dubois. Service on the far side, tried to get it inside, deeper into the 18-yard box, and it's going to be out of play. They say handball there on Florida High inside the box. So it'll be a free kick for the Rickards Raiders, just outside the corner of the 6-yard box there. And so B. Drayton will be getting it rolling here for the Rickards Raiders. Like we said, 40 goals so far this season for Drayton. Plays a lot of sweeper too, so very impressive to see what she's done so far this season. Be interested to see where she goes and play some college ball, but gotta be at the top of your list when you talk about prep players here in the Big Bend, Player of the Year, and those kind of accolades. Gotta think Drayton's on the short list. So throwing over the far side for Florida High. This one goes out of play. Trying to get things rolling here, throw in, and it's going to be touch here by Dubois. Once again, headed to McNeese State next year. Inside the box, Florida High, dangerous position, cleared out well here by Rickards. Over onto the far side, collected there by Ellis. Looking to launch the attack here are the Raiders, but Florida High able to dispel it in front of the Rickards bench. Be out of play here for a throw-in. Butterfield will get, I believe it's number 7 over on the far side here for the Raiders. Get things rolling. A nice little turn here as Florida High wins it back. It's Martinez, one of the 4 seniors being honored here tonight. Through ball here for Rickards. Looking for a white jersey, but Florida High on top of it. We'll cycle back around and swing it around the horn defensively. Everybody getting some touches. Another senior, Annabelle Williamson, over here on the sideline is looking for Du Bois on a centering ball. Taken away well here by Rickards and cleared back. Touch of the ball here for Garcia Sufant for Florida High as they try to work it through the midfield. Like we said, new formation here for Florida High. They keep it only 3 in the back, so it will clog up, and this is, of course, applicable for both sides, will clog up the midfield significantly here with those 5 midfielders, and the strength of the Rickards Raiders attack is going to be going through the middle. Throw in coming from the far side, turns centrally. Dubois a touch, and this one's going to be cleared out here by Rickards. Up to the attack, and a little pursuit here on the near side. Cycle back around Cabezas. A nice little move here on the near side. Little centering ball to Dubois. Looking for some service, left foot. This one dangerously skips through the 6-yard box. as McIntosh watches it go out of play. And it'll be out for a Rickards Raiders goal kick here in the 6th minute of action from Mike Hickman Stadium down in Southwood. Beautiful night here in the capital city of the Sunshine State. Have a little substitution here for the Raiders. As Kai Williams will take a seat, number 10. Get some fresh legs in here for Rickards, and Douglas in on the back line for the Raiders. Drayton will take the goal kick on out to the far side, collected by Fleury. And it'll be poked out of bounds for a Rickards throw-in. Try to work the far side, looking for Ellis. One back here by Florida High, but good pursuit by Ellis. Forcing the issue. Back to that back three here for Florida High. Good pursuit coming near side here by Bird. And this will be out of play, as you can see, in front of the Florida High senior night festivities. Cabezas to take the throw in. Touched by Molly Russell. Once again, one of the 4 seniors. Pogue free here. Dangerous positioning. One of the better attacking chances here for the Rickards Raiders. But, of course, the Florida High back line up to the task. Through ball, looking for Dubois. And cleared out here by the Raiders. As it looks like a full-fledged effort here by Florida High, and it looks like Rickards right now just trying to get behind it, get into this game here, and prevent anything early from going in. Nice little turn by Cabezas going centrally. Pressure from the back, good. Poke free there by Ellis. Little give and go here by Rickards, but one back well by Florida High. Cycled through, and they say foul just on the offensive side of the field here for Florida High. Of course, depth-wise, just past the center circle over here on the near side. Of course, away from where the teams are, the team bench. Just want to look to get teed up for Florida High. As Garcia Salfront looks to set it up here for the Seminoles. Service, nice ball, gets to the top of the 18, falls for Dubois. Shot attempt with the right foot, just goes over the bar. But great look there by Dubois. McIntosh watches it sail over the soccer crossbar and the football upright here in the 9th minute of action. Still sitting on zeros here. Rickards visiting Florida High here in a great all Big Bend, all 850, all Tallahassee Big Bend soccer matchup here for a Friday night. First match of a doubleheader out here. Of course, the number 7 ranked in the state, Charles Timberwolves, will be playing Florida High down here after the conclusion of this game. Of course, still a lot of time left in this contest here. Florida High trying to sharpen up before districts. Rickards trying to pull a little upset here on the road. Drayton. Nice little service over to the far side, trying to hit the front line of Ellis. And this one last touch by Florida High, so will stay with Rickards right in front of the Florida High bench. Of course, on the Seminole side of the field, a little substitution pending here for Florida High. And it looks like Cabezas is going to take a seat. And in for her, I believe, that is Sophia Mason, if I can read the jersey correctly, number 19. Substitution coming here for the Rickards Raiders as well. Looks like Williams onto the field here for Rickards, or Hernandez, excuse me, number 6. Centering ball here for Florida High. Try to get service and get things started right around midfield over on that far side there. Jarred free by the Raiders, and there's Martinez with a touch coming right off the bench. And the Seminoles will look to get things going once again. Molly Russell, one of those seniors, getting a touch here for Florida High as they work it around the back 3 and swing it around. Service on out here to the near side as Florida High tries to get things going. Rickards will jar this one free in the midfield, but quickly recovered by Florida High, as they've been quick to do this evening. Ivy Carlson will jumpstart it here for Florida High. Now on the far side looking for a centering ball. Drayton does well to cut that one off here for Rickards. But the Seminoles will collect as they bring it back into the attacking third. Cleared out once again here by Rickards, and that's a long clearance. Will go all the way back to the Florida High side of the field. They're going to drop this one back from Garcia Salfront to the keeper and cycle it around here and look to reestablish possession. Looking for a through ball. Florida High, dangerous looking ball as they believe they were targeting Dubois on the far side, but assistant referee has the hand up. Offsides here for Florida High, so it'll be a free kick here for the Rickards Raiders coming out of the back. 12th minute of action here from Florida High. Of course, 35-minute halves going on here tonight. Drayton on the free kick after the offside, and Florida High with a couple touches in the midfield, trying to settle it down. Here is Martinez. Another one of those 4 seniors here for Florida High being honored tonight. Drop it all the way back, and service going back to the far side. It's Florida High working the far side of the field here more in the last couple minutes. Nice working through the midfield, but just a little long there on the far side in front of the Rickards bench. So it'll be a throw-in back to the Raiders. As Hassan will take the throw-in over on the far side here for the Pride of the South Side. Trying to weave through what Rickards Raiders does well to dispel the attack there. Hernandez with a little touch right around midfield and will earn a Rickards Raiders throw-in. Hassan will look to collect. Throw it on up to the Raiders' defense as Hernandez has had a busy couple minutes since coming in as a substitute here. Done well to attack the ball and go after it there up top here, as Rickards is trying to get a lot of bodies back behind the ball. 9 field players defensively, really sitting back, want to try to feel their way into the game. And then, of course, you'll notice the offensive shift in the game plan when Coach Rauschenberg sends number 12, Drayton, headed forward. Of course, the prime goal scorer here for the Raiders. This one's going to be jarred free. Nice little battle around midfield on the Rickards side. Douglas involved there for the Raiders as Drayton will clear this one out. Back to midfield. It's going to be won by the Rickards Raiders. A little possession here in the attacking half. A long ball looking for Martinez will be cycled back around here for Florida High. Come to the near side, where Mason gets some touches here. Cycle around, good pressure there put on by Rickards. As one of the seniors, Annabelle Williamson, will get the ball rolling here for Florida High. A couple headers will be knocked around and poke free Rickards there. Abadio with a nice jarring effort to clear that one out of danger. And she's been active here on this near side, which would be the left side of the formation here for the Rickards Raiders. Good game, good win there by Drayton. As we go back to Williamson. Looks for the short ball here to Pierce. As we knock it around a little bit, service going over the top. And Rickards' back line will clear it, which has been a common theme here. Florida High trying to get into dangerous positions. And Rickards currently holding the line, doing well defensively. Deflected here on the fringe of the attacking third. Great effort there in traffic by Ivy Carlson. Trying to launch an attack here for Florida High. Cleared by Drayton out of danger here for the Rickards Raiders. All the way up by the defensive half of midfield. Touches there. Cycled all the way back once again here for Florida High. Pressure being put on the near side. Brooks getting in the action for the Rickards Raiders. Number 8 to try to slide through. Good win here by the Raiders in the midfield. Good aggressiveness. Thomas coming away with the ball. Tries to get a through ball to Hernandez, but defended well here by Florida High. This one slips through and out of play over on the near side for a Rickards Raiders throw-in. And Butterfield here, left back, will look to take it for the Raiders. Thrown in, it's going to be won by Williamson. And headed out of play here for another Rickards Raiders throw-in. Down up by midfield as they continue to cascade down the line here. Good win in the middle, looking for Hernandez once again. Good work by Brooks. Try to get the through ball. Collected over on the far side here by Hassan. Taken back here by Florida High. Stepping in well is Douglas for the Raiders, and Florida High will dump it back over the top. Dubois tries to settle it down and dump it outside here, looking for teammate Mahetzi Martinez, the senior connection. And this one to be a little strong, goes out of play here for the Rickards Raiders. For the throw-in, little substitution coming here for the Raiders. Hernandez will take a seat. Some good minutes there by the young Raider there. And Kai Williams will swap out for her, number 10. Back into that up top right attacking position here for Rickards. Service through, this one on the ground. Won well by Thomas, who's had a couple good wins here in the midfield over the last couple minutes, as we're now into minute 17 here of the match. Playing 35-minute halves here tonight. Trying to poke through on the ground here. Pierce looking to turn. Dangerous ball. Drayton services called upon. Does well to track it down and clear it back into the Rickards Raiders bench. Of course, Drayton, fantastic recovery speed here for the Raiders. It's going to be tough to get past her in a foot race or a foot chase or a long ball. I think Florida High in the goal of adding the extra midfielders is trying to see if they can pass it through into some dangerous avenues. Sliding effort, top of the box, shot attempt going just wide. And Dubois once again taking a rip here for Florida High. She seems to be the main provocateur of the Seminole offense here as far as shot attempts go. Just a little bit outside. Of course, a couple minutes back had one that sailed over top of the crossbar. But the Rickards Raiders will have it for a goal kick. 18th minute of action. We're about halfway home here in the first half. There's a nice long ball here from Drayton. Will be won back by the Seminoles. But a good effort by Hassan on the far side here for Rickards to win this one back and force the issue. Williams now pressuring the back line here for Florida High. They'll cycle it around as this one comes back here to the near side. As Florida High does well to keep it in play. Dubois with a nice touch here on the near side. Looking to facilitate, tries to have a dangerous through ball. Drayton does well to step into position and clear this one out of danger. Looking for Annabelle Williamson on the attack. Throw in, coming quickly here for Florida High. Chested down, Williamson back to Dubois. Service coming, looking for the back post. It sails a little tall. Florida High still in possession. They'll put it on the ground at the top of the 18. Won well by Drayton of Rickards, and will clear this one out of danger. But you can feel the offensive surge starting to develop a little bit here for Florida High. And some good work by the fellow seniors here, Williamson and Dubois doing some good work. And it looks like we'll have a little water break here as we get midway through the first half. So while we have the opportunity, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Remind you that you are watching the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. This is the first half of the doubleheader going on here tonight. Girls side, Rickards and Florida High to come later. Number 7, Childs battling the Florida High boys. Come right on back after the commercial break. And welcome back here to the capital city, the Sunshine State, down in the southeast side of town in Southwood, here at Mike Hickman Stadium on campus here of Florida High. They are hosting the Rickards Raiders here for our Friday night contest, the high school game of the week. Just coming out of the first half water break, it's going to be a Florida High throw on the fringe of the attacking third as we get ready to get rolling here. And it's going to be jarred free. I believe it was last touched by the Raiders, and we'll go out for a corner for the Seminoles. Of course, a dangerous opportunity, set plays. Rickards has been up to the task so far here tonight, dispelling the attack for Florida High, but you can feel the last couple minutes, the surge has really been coming well here for the Seminoles. Drayton in fantastic position to clear the ball out, as Pierce will try to settle this one down. Knowles, a nice ball coming through. McIntosh off of her line, and doing well there to scoop that one out of the sky. Quick reaction time here for McIntosh. Looking to send it away here for Rickards. Lefty gives it a nice blast here. Coming up towards the center circle. Controlled here by Florida High. Looking to turn, little possession here by Martinez. And a tough challenge over the far side. Looks like the referee is going to pull this one back. Player down there for Florida High, as it will go their way for the free kick. Able to jump up there. So always good to see there. So Dubois will look to take the free kick attempt here. So depth-wise from the goal, not too far out. It's only about 25 yards, but he's way on the outside near the far touchline there width-wise. So it's probably a good 35 from goal here. McIntosh stands at the ready. Dubois service. This one's going to be on the ground. The three-lady wall here for the Raiders eats it up, and it'll be out of play for a Florida High throw over on the far side. So just on the, probably about 20 yards from goal, depth-wise here on the field. And a quick little short throw. Trying to snake through the defense here is Dubois. And it looks like offside called here by the assistant referee over on the near side. So the Rickards back line has been solid, strong, united here. Look to be in step. Of course, Butterfield, Abadio, Drayton here for the Rickards Raiders tonight. Doing well here defensively, keeping this one at a tie match here so far, 0-0. Through ball, a dangerous one. Rickards called up to the task there, but a good clearance over on the far side. Gabriella Beamer here for the Rickards Raiders. Getting a touch over on the far side. There's a throw-in for Florida High, coming about 18 yards from goal. Into the interior, chested down and controlled by Russell. Tried to be dropped off, but poked free by Kai Williams of Rickards. Good pursuit there. Of course, in that right forward position, her and Hernandez have been very busy tonight. 10 and 6 for the Rickards Raiders, both putting in some good minutes over there on that far side. Here to try to dispel this relentless Florida High attack. And Williams, once again, on the spot, does well to clear it out of danger here, pushing Florida High back to the fringe of the attacking third. As we get into the 23rd minute of action here from Mike Hickman Stadium. Of course, we will play 35-minute halves looking for Pierce. Great clearance off the back line here for Rickards. Dangerous positioning, going to give Williams a chance to run onto it. See if Rickards can add a little pressure here to this back line, but Florida High in control, and will pass out of danger. Dubois looking to go give and go here on the near sideline. Good control. Try to hit the through ball, but a great step by Drayton to clear it out of danger. A high towering ball over here lands on the track. Quick start coming here from Florida High. About 25 yards from goal is Dubois. Snaking through here, the Rickards defenders trying to get it on their left foot, looking for some service over to the far side. Through ball, just a little strong. It'll be out for a Raiders goal kick here in the 24th minute. Double substitution coming on here for the Raiders. Looks like Hernandez coming back in. Number 6, Thomas will take a seat. Also coming in, tough to see the number, I believe it's 17, Bird back in here for the Rickards Raiders. And it looks like Hernandez is going to come into the left side of the formation. So both Williams and Hernandez now in the game for the first time here for the Rickards Raiders. Let's see if they can do some damage up top. Going in, deep possession there. Hassan, great little bit of defending there with the left foot. She's been very busy here on the right side of that formation. Looking to bring it centrally, and this one's going to be blocked down here by Drayton of Rickards. Gets her body in front of it. Dropped off to Dubois. Nice little square pass, Florida High, trying to thread it through. This one's going to get through. Last touch, it looks like, by Florida High, so to be out for a Rickards Raiders goal kick. But once again, the attacking surge here for Florida High, continuing to be the more adventurous and dangerous looking side, but still not at its 0-0 here on senior night. This, of course, if you missed the pregame, Coach Victoria Sachs here for Florida High, tradition lets the seniors coach the team here on senior night. And so she is in a nice, comfortable place along the bench there. And she said a lot of the seniors will be coaching on the field, which she says they do regularly anyways. Her little mini coaches on the pitch there. Dubois, a nice little prodding attack, and this one's going to be cleared off of the back line by Butterfield. Secondary ball pumps it back in here for Florida High. On top of it is Williamson. It's going to be jarred free by Hernandez, but out for a Florida High throw-in. They'll look to get it rolling once again. Williamson here into Pierce. Rickards once again up to the task. They'll blast it out of danger back into the Florida High defending half, where they'll look to cycle around. Some defensive touches here by Garcia Safran. Serving it through here, the midfield. On over to Russell. Dubois once again. Two players over on the far side here for Florida High. Tries a little through ball to Williamson. And Drayton, excellent pursuit there, shielding off Williamson. It'll be out for a Rickards throw. Or excuse me, Rickards goal kick. Another substitution. Thomas, after a short break, is going to come back in. Unclear of who's coming off. Cannot see the number over there. As it looks like Hernandez will switch sides of the formation. So it looks like they'll put Williams and Thomas up top as Hernandez kind of settles into that right midfield role over there on the far side in front of the Raiders bench. And it looks like it was Hassan that took a seat, number 2. Been very busy on that back line here for Rickards. This one is a nice centering ball. Good position there for Raiders, getting in front of that one. There's a serve it. Williamson now in control. Puts it back to the back line here. Garcia Safran to Dubois. Nice square ball one time here to Russell. One back by Rickards. That's Williams trying to thread through traffic. And it's going to be one well here by Florida High. All ball there by Russell. Now into the attacking half. Great turn here by Williamson. Pressure on Butterfield giving chase. Last touch here by Florida High. And we'll be out once again here for a Rickards goal kick as we get into the 28th minute here down in Southwood. 7 and change to go here. Of course, official time always kept on the field. But within the last 2 minutes, they'll be at the discretion of the center head ref there. So, of course, you probably won't hear a buzzer. And if you do, it is irrelevant. Center ref going to be calling the shots, as they always do. Of course, the referee staff is in blue this evening on senior night. A little square ball there. Russell trying to thread it through, looking for Dubois. And be out for a Rickards throw-in. Butterfield will take the throw here for Rickards. Two attacking players here on the near side trying to flick it on, but goes out of play here. Touch there by AUDIBLE. As it looks like we have a substitution coming here for Florida High. Here in the 29th minute. Tough to see the number. Is that Gabrielle June, number 18? We'll keep you posted as she's coming here to the near side. Try to clean up this Clerical error. Yes, it is June, number 18. Out of play here for Rickards throw in now. Butterfield will take the throw as we get into the 29th minute. Going to play 35 here in the first half on senior night. This one's deflected onto the defending half of the field for Florida High. Threaded through for Russell. One back well by Douglas. She's had a busy day in the center of the pitch here for the Rickards Raiders. Florida High now on the attack. They've got a little numbers going. Thomas with an aggressive step there for the Rickards Raiders and able to clear it out of danger. Dubois will recollect it. She'll bring it into the attacking third. Nice little through ball, but Drayton once again up to the task here for the Rickards Raiders. This one will go out of play here as we get into the 30th minute. 5 minutes and change here from Mike Hickman Stadium. Centering ball deflected. A little friendly fire there for Florida High, and Drayton blasts it out of play into the visiting stands here. So Florida High have a throw-in on the fringe of the defending third. It's going to be Russell. Squares it back, cycles it around here for the Seminoles. Martinez with a touch. Nice little bit of control here by the Seminoles. Trying to be in attacking position. Looking for the through ball. Looking for Williamson. And shielded well by Butterfield to keep it out of danger. So to be out of play for a Rickards Raiders goal kick. Here as we get into the 31st minute of the opening half. 0-0. The score line here from Florida High. Of course, Drayton, the big goal scorer here for Rickards, been playing sweeper here this evening. It'd be interesting to see if Coach Rauschenberg gives her the bump, takes the training wheels off, see if he lets her loose here in the offensive half, in half number 2. But this would be a big result here for Rickards. Of course, they've had a fantastic season this year, 10-1-1. Doing really well out here in the 2022-23 campaign. Dubois shot on target, but in great position there is McIntosh, once again up to the task. And Coach Rauschenberg said McIntosh is a good keeper here. So far she's been in fantastic positioning, good soccer IQ to get where she needs to go. Florida High, a little spell absorbing an attack here, but the defense on up to the task. Cycles it around. Dubois will bring it back and forth. Threads it through to Russell. Dubois. Far side to Martinez. The senior triangle cycling about here for Florida High. Poke free for Rickards. Thomas looking to send it up to the front line. Looking for Williams. She'll track back, but one well here by Florida High. And it'll be threaded back to the back line. Cycled out wide here for the Seminoles. On the ground. Great through ball here to the attacking third. Squared over, looking for the new substitute, June. But Rickards will clear it out of danger. And once again, back for a Florida High throw just on their half of the field. Quick throw in for Florida High, 32nd minute of action. So just a couple minutes left in this first half. Will we get a goal here before the break? Or will we be locked in here to this 0-0 deadlock? Of course, the low-scoring affair, a little uncommon here for Rickards here in the late going. Like we said, over the last 5 matches, they've been averaging 5 goals a game, including the 7 versus Hamilton County earlier this week. This one tried to thread a through ball. McIntosh coming off the line about 8 yards from goal. Scoops it up there, no contest here. 33rd minute of action. McIntosh, left-footed blast here. Trying to hit it to the front line, looking for Pompey. Looking for Brooks, number 8 here for Rickards. Florida High will look to control. June brings it down well. Nice little one-time to the front line here. 25 yards from goal. Looking to get back to June. Drayton up to the task here, able to clear it out of danger. Florida High showing a little urgency here. Just a couple minutes left in this opening half. Throw in here from June. Attempted centering ball. Stay in play. Over by the corner. Rickards able to poke it free well. I believe it's Pompey on the clearance there for the Raiders. Tries to bring it down, and this will be cleared temporarily. Second clear there by Beamer. Done well here. Pursuit given by Brooks. Good effort there, but it goes out of play here. Dubois will take the quick throw in here for Florida High. June will collect and drop it off here on the near side for Mason. Gives it back to Russell. Dubois, nice through ball, tries to turn, Drayton up to it. Second ball deflection as this one gets through to the front line, but offsides is the senior Williamson in a dangerous attacking position here. And, of course, the quick whistle from the referee will get us to the halftime break here. 0-0. Rickards Raiders and the Florida High Seminoles. We're going to jump out for a quick commercial break. Florida High Senior Night festivities to go on here at halftime. Here for the first half of the doubleheader. Of course, if you're just joining us, you know, we've got so much more. Still second half of the girls' game, which, of course, kicked off at about 5. And then the number 7 team in the state, the Charles Timberwolves, will be battling the Florida High boys here in a high contest. So that'll be a great one as well, just after the second half of the girls' game. And, of course, enough time for the players to warm up and everything. But we're going to take a little jump out here, take a quick commercial break here on the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. Come right on back.
Marijuana can impair your ability to drive, and that affects much more than just you. Drive baked, get busted.
And welcome back here to the Florida High School Game of the Week here on the Varsity Sports Network, here on the Tallahassee channel. Of course, it is senior night here for Florida High, so what we're going to do is we're going to give way to the public address announcer to honor the 4 seniors here for Florida High. So we will step away, but enjoy the senior night festivities going on here in Southwood.
Tonight, as they are joined by their families on the field, we want to celebrate their time in the program and contribution to the legacy of girls soccer at Florida High. First up, number 7, Ava Dubois. She is the daughter of Tiffany and Paul Dubois. She is escorted tonight by Dubois. She has played soccer at Florida High for 7 years, 6 of which have been on varsity. While at Florida High, she has participated in Rho Kappa, Environmental Club, and FCCLA. Outside of Florida High, Ava plays club soccer, participates in Student United Way, and is a coach at Bold and Gold. To her parents, in her own words, I would like to thank my parents for their constant, unwavering support and being crazy enough to help me chase my dreams. To her brother, in her own words, thanks for inspiring my love for the game. I wouldn't be here without you. For her mother, thank you for being my biggest fan ever, my rock. Thank you for reminding me that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. Knowing that I always have you in my corner has been one of my favorite parts of my career. For her father, thank you for being my loudest fan and toughest critic. From coaching me when I was younger to driving me all over the Southeast every weekend, I've appreciated every second of it. I can't think of many games that you were not in attendance. It has always been so special to me to always be able to look into the stands and see you. A special message for her teammates. Thank you for the best senior season I could have asked for. Whether we are 6 months apart or 6 years apart, it has been a joy to call every single one of you my teammates. I will forever hold this season close to my heart, and the friendships will forever be appreciated. I know it's corny, but time really does fly. So savor every moment of it. Teach the younger girls. I promise you, they really look up to you all. Always remember to be proud to wear this jersey. It's a privilege, not a right, and leave this program better than you found it. I love each and every one of you and cannot wait to see you all succeed. Let's give it up for number 7, Ava Dubois. Next we have number 13, Mahetsi Martinez. She is the daughter of Carlos and Maria Martinez. She is being escorted tonight by her parents and siblings, Cruz, Ciclali, and Isha. She has played soccer at Florida High for 2 years, one of those on varsity. She joined our team by way of Crossroads Academy, where she is a member of the Beta Club. To her parents, in her own words, thank you for all your support and your patience with me. To her team, thank you Florida High Girls Soccer for an amazing 2 years. I will carry you all in my heart always. Go Noles. A round of applause for number 13, Mahetsi Martinez. Our next senior, number 20, Annabelle Williamson. She is the daughter of Amy and Rob Williamson. She is escorted tonight by her parents and brother Hilton. She has played soccer for FSUS for 2 years, 2 of which have been on varsity. While at Florida High, she was a member of FCA. To her parents, in her own words, thank you so much for your endless love and support. I'm so thankful to have parents as loving and understanding as you all. Thank you for coming to my many tournaments. And to her team, I love all of you girls so much. You all are such beautiful and kind people. I can't wait to see how much more you grow. I've had such an amazing time getting to know you all. Let's give it up for number 20, Annabelle Williamson. Our last senior for the night, number 21, Molly Russell. She is the daughter of Alan and Christine Russell. She is escorted tonight by her parents, her siblings Ben and Katie Russell, and her grandparents, Tony and Georgia Desamini, along with Arnold and Hildur Klein. She has played soccer at Florida High for 7 years, 6 of which have been on varsity. While at Florida High, Molly has been the president of the National English Honor Society. Vice President of National Honor Society, a member of Rho Kappa, and a historian and a counselor in training for the after-school EDEP program. Outside of school, Molly plays club soccer and volunteers at the National Cemetery. For her parents, in her own words, Mom and Dad, thank you all for all the support you have given to me over the years. I'm so grateful to have loving parents who are willing to come to my every game, win or loss. I am so appreciative of all you have done for me to play the game I love. To her team, I leave to you all being the most unathletic, athletic player you will ever meet, and all the bonds and sisterhood we share. Thank you for all the great memories. I will cherish them forever. I love you all so much. A piece of advice for you is that a good soccer player may not be the most skilled person. It can be the person who works the hardest. A round of applause for number 21, Polly Russell. Seniors, please remember that your Florida High family is very proud of your achievements, but even more proud of the people you have become. We can't wait to see what's next in your journey. Please give another round of applause for your class of 2023 seniors. And that concludes our senior night presentation. Thank you.
Victoria, I want to use this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You the coach. Make it happen. Make it happen. Suck it up, Buttercup. Let her rip, Tater Chip. Tater Chip, you're so mad.
And welcome back here to the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. As you can see, senior night festivities being carried out here tonight. These are your four seniors: Ava Dubois, Hetzi Martinez, Molly Russell, Annabelle Williamson here. The four nice little festivities here going on for the Florida High seniors, who, of course, in a Coach V tradition here for Florida High, allowing the seniors to coach the game here tonight. So she has been able to enjoy the festivities, see her seniors. This is her fourth season, so this is her first full senior class here. Had them since freshmen, so a special group here for Coach V. They're currently knotted up at 0-0 here with the Rickards Raiders, and which has been a really fun contest here so far this evening. A very entertaining affair. Of course, we've seen a lot of offensive action coming forward for both teams. But majority of the attack, of course, sustained attack at least, coming from the Florida High Seminoles. So as we look to snap in here, as we look back over, as we have here, Andrew Joop here for the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. He, of course, down here in Southwood, Florida High, going against Rickards here tonight. Fantastic contest that we have for you. Like we said, 0-0 currently at halftime. Of course, Drayton, we were wondering if she was going to get in the offensive spell of attack here for the Rickards Raiders, and it looks like she started and has been in the sweeper position, and she's been really key in canceling out this Florida High attack, which with a couple of the seniors, Williamson and Dubois, and a couple of the others here for Florida High has really been pressing forward and trying to advance. But Drayton and McIntyre, who's had a great game in goal here for the Rickards Raiders, has done well to keep the score here at 0-0. So the Rickards Raiders continuing their hot streak, like we said, undefeated in their last 8 matches. They've been doing well defensively. Let's see if they can switch it offensively, or we'll try to hold the tide here, but it should provide an extra second half. I think we're going to see some goals out here tonight, so regardless of which way here, once the first one goes in, as you know, the game will open up a little bit as teams start to chase or they start to make the differential here. Very impressed with Drayton and McIntyre here on the defensive end, as well as Beamer and Butterfield, a couple others for the Rickards Raiders. Florida High, great control. We've seen the seniors showcased. Russell, Williamson, Dubois, Martinez, all getting great touches and good possession there for them. So it'll be exciting second half as we're about to get rocking and rolling. So let's send you over there right now. But before we switch you over, let's give you that senior graphic one more time there of the 4 seniors here for Florida High being honored this evening, as we prepare to get things rocking and rolling once again, as we are back in the action here from Florida High in half number 2. And of course, you can see there Florida High going to get us on the immediate attack and get things rolling here. Of course, in the all-black uniforms, they're going from right to left here in this second half. As we resume action here, Dubois over on the near side looking for some service here for Florida High, and it gets into McIntyre, and the Rickards Raiders will look to clear things off and get an offensive spell rolling here for the Raiders. And this one's going to be held up as we continue the action here. As you can see, clock once again rolling, and we are actually in the second half, of course. So as we cycle back through here, get play going as Florida High once again on the attack. They're over on the far side here on senior night. If you missed the festivities, nice little ceremony here at halftime. But like we said, Rickards Raiders defense, so far the story, they've been standing tall, tried to thread it through, dangerous positioning. Hernandez is going to come back here for Rickards to try to clear this one again. Here comes Martinez, done well by Hernandez to poke this one free for Rickards. And a little bit of spell of possession. Brooks bringing it out for the back line. Tries to go forward here for the Raiders. Able to maintain control. Looking for Drayton, and it looks like Coach Rauschenberg has sent Drayton forward. Of course, 40 goals so far this season. She is dangerous when on the ball, and there she goes on the attack. Here one-on-one defensively for the Raiders. Trying to go by the defender and does well to win a corner kick here. So great little spell of play there as Drayton getting her first offensive touches, and it will be a corner kick out here for the Rickards Raiders. Definitely their best offensive spell here of the evening. And it looks like Drayton will come over and take the corner kick here for Rickards. As they look to get a new ball. It looks like the ball they were utilizing went over the fence. And now they're once again rocking and rolling here as they get sent up. Like we said, Patrice Drayton, fantastic season, 40 goals so far this year. Played a lot of sweeper. Coach Rauschenberg says she prefers to play striker due to the team needs. Plays a lot of sweeper this season, though. Corner kick coming there, and it'll be cleared out into play. So it'll be a Rickards throw-in over here on the near side, about 12 yards from goal. Here as we get rolling into the second half of action from Florida High here on the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. Of course, the first of 2 matches we have out here for you on the soccer field here at Mike Hickman Stadium. Florida High boys and the number 7 team in the state, Charles Timberwolves, will be battling here after the conclusion of this match. But we still, I was going to say need a winner, but will not necessarily get one here tonight. We could tie, but I seriously doubt that this one stays here at 0-0. Drayton on the offensive spell here should open things up for both teams offensively, which is what the people came here to see. Dangerous ball in the attacking half. Here comes Pierce, full head of steam, tracing back Butterfield here for the Rickards Raiders. Able to spill it out wide, and it is out of play, and it looks to be a Florida High throw over on the far side. Quick throw in here, looking to cycle it around as Russell. Couple touches there, tries to dump it out to Pierce. Last touch there by Rickards. And we'll go back to Florida High on the throw in here, but we do have a little hold up for a substitution. It looks like June is coming in. Cannot see the number for the player coming out here. Especially late in that first half, June had some really good touches, was really effective over here on the near side for Florida High. See if she's able to continue that pace here in the second half. And here comes Drayton, full head of steam. Pressure on the keeper, dangerous one here for Florida High, but up to the task well. Going to be kept in play. There's June with a nice bit of play to keep it in the field of play. And now Florida High back in possession. That was one that'll probably go under the radar here, but June doing excellently. Now in the attacking, June still with it, centering ball on the ground, cleared off well. In position there is Kai Williams. Stepping in to win another one, getting free. Florida High off the post on the far side. Super close. McIntosh in good position, does not let that one slip in, but a good shot on frame there for Florida High. I believe the shot attempt was Ivy Carlson. This one's going to be dropped off over on the far side. Service coming from far side to near side. Header, McIntosh with the save and able to keep it off the back line. Fantastic backwards diving effort by McIntosh, and we're still 0-0 here from Florida High. Fantastic save, full stretch. Rickards able to clear it, but the danger is not gone yet. Florida High now with a corner kick over on the far side. So the right footer's going to tee it up. It's going to be an outswinger from the far side here in the 29th minute of action. Service centrally. Martinez in the area. June in the area. It slips through out the back of the 18, and June looks to recycle. One well here by Brooks, so the Rickards Raiders, and temporarily out of dangers. Mahatsi Martinez, quick throw in here for Dubois. Service down the line for June. Looks like she's able to stay onside. Service centrally. This one leaks through for Florida High, and it rockets just to the left of the post. Shot attempt there, Annabelle Williamson, one of the seniors tonight for Florida High. But like we said, things starting to open up here. Florida High attack on full stretch. So far, McIntosh done well to keep us at zeros here so far tonight. So Drayton's going to come back here to take the goal kick for the Rickards Raiders. So this is an interesting situation too, as she comes out to take the goal kick here for Rickards in the 42nd minute, but it takes her out of the forward position that she has been in the last couple minutes. So it's an interesting trade-off here for the Rickards Raiders. Full head of steam, Florida High, confidently going in. McIntosh able to scoop up that one at the near post. And that was a big-time save just a couple minutes ago by McIntosh. Has she not been ready to go with the quick reflexes, Florida High would have the advantage here at home. Ball trapped down to Martinez, to Dubois. Wisely lets this one go out of play here on the near side. Does Rickards. Quick throw in to get things rolling. And it looks like it's collected here by Florida High as they look to cycle things around all the way back. Now back up to midfield, full head of steam. Williams does well to poke it free for Rickards. And she goes into the attacking third, looking to turn some pressure here from Florida High. Able to dispossess her and dump it out in front of the Rickards bench. Looks last touch by the Raiders, so it'll stay with Florida High. Here's we go 44th minute. 25 and change here from Florida High. We're playing 70 tonight, of course, due to senior night. A little abbreviated contest here this evening. This one's going to be played up. June with a nice spell here. Getting to the last line of the defense. Drops it back well for Dubois. Tries to get around it. But slides off the outside of the right foot, and it'll be out for a Rickards goal kick over on the far side. Of course, I believe Dubois, natural left footer. But a good attempt there for Florida High. And that's been the big two so far. You can see in your picture, number 12, taking the goal kick, Drayton, McIntosh in between the pipes here for the Raiders. Patrice blasts it out here for the Raiders. It'll be chested down on the far side there by Williamson. Hand out of play. Last touch here by Rickards. Looks like Kai Williams get a little touch in there for the Raiders. He's been aggressive here in the second half. Good minutes here for the Rickards Raiders. Good step defensively. I believe it's Douglas over on the far side. But it'll be out for a Florida High throw. And this Rickards Raiders team is holding the line, man. They do not let up a lot of goals, and you can see why. Service over the top. Drayton in position as it looks like she's going to hang on the back line for a little bit. And it's trapped down here by Pierce. Look to square it off. Back towards the middle of the park, and a free kick, dangerous one. Dubois taking most of the free kicks here for Florida High, but it looks like Williamson, number 20, is going to get on top of this one. So it's a little bit of a journey. You're probably 30 yards from goal, but if you want it bad enough, I still think it's within striking distance. And, I mean, based on the angle, it's in the middle of the field. It would be tough to try to get a set play here if it's not short. You do have one player, Garcia Sufant. Looks like she's going to go on frame. The Rickards Raiders wall eats it, and it'll be cleared out here. Thomas dumps it out of play, and it'll be a throw-in here for Williamson. So 2 free kicks in dangerous positions, and the Rickards Raiders wall has taken care of both of them tonight. Here, as we talked about the defense so far for the Raiders. So far, 45 plus. Still 0 on the scoreboard. Good win there by Douglas, but it's one back here. Dubois on it. Now gets to the left foot, looking to take it to the back post. And once again, McIntosh shields it out of play. It'll be out for Rickards. Throw in. I believe it's a 4th attempt on goal that Dubois had tonight. This one just off the near side post. Of course, I believe 3 attempts in the first half. 1 to the left side, 1 to the right side, 1 just over the top. She tries to zero in there. 47th minute of prescribed 70 tonight. Drayton looking to give us a ride here. 22 and change left here in the match. Pierce will drop it off here to Russell. Swung around to Dubois. Tries to get a dangerous through ball. Great positioning there for Williamson. Drayton in good position, though, to watch it go out of play. And once again, a Rickards goal kick upcoming. So Drayton started the second half there up at the top line. Since retreated back to sweeper, so We can see Florida High distinctly trying to attack the perimeter, the exterior of this Rickards Raiders defense, try to get some surface. You see June over on the near side, who has been attacking that side, and then Williamson over on the right side, the far side in front of the team benches. Seems like they've really been targeting those wide areas since the defensive change has come about. Good step by Douglas. She'll poke it free out in front of the Florida High bench. Seminole throw in. Taken quickly. Dumped on back Williamson looking for some service. Good step there from Rickards to get in front of that one. Williamson, once again, quick throw. Russell in the area. She wants her short, wants to go long. Looking for, I believe, Martinez. About 25 yards from goal there. Once again, Rickards dumping it out of play. Look to get it going. Williamson now going to turn, comes centrally to Russell. Squares it off, looking for Dubois. Through ball, looking for June. Dangerous attacking ball. A little strong, goes out of play there, and should be a Rickards goal kick. As we approach 49th minute of action here from Florida High. And it looks like the Rickards Raiders defense in no rush as they try to get everybody set up and organized here for the goal kick. And there, right-footed Drayton tried to thread it through. Dubois wins the service here for Florida High. Spilled on back to the back line. 10 of 11 Seminoles in the Rickards Raiders side. Saved the keeper. Dropped on back here as we talk about that back line. Natalia Garcia-Souffrant with some touches there. The senior Russell getting involved. Tried to thread it through. Dangerous little through ball here. Florida High chance at it. Going far side. McIntosh full stretch to her right. Able to keep this one out of net. Still 0-0 here in the 50th minute. But a dangerous offensive spell there for Florida High. Ivy Carlson having a big second half, number 11 here for Florida High. She's been thoroughly involved as they look to go. After they played the perimeter a little bit, she's really attacking that right center positioning. Good step here defensively for Rickards. Clearing it out of immediate danger. Hernandez with some pursuit here on the near side. But that was Pompey here with some good defensive pressure. She'll take the throw in. Long throw looking for Hernandez. One back by Florida High. Pompey looking to get a square ball. Tried to target Hassan, who looks to be on the attack here in the second half. She had a great defensive half in the first half, number 2 here for the Rickards Raiders. Tries to thread it through danger. Dubois with time has June outside. Through ball to Martinez. One-on-one battle with Drayton. And B will come up with it and clear over the top. Tries to hit Brooks. This one's going to be one back by Florida High. Dubois on the attack now. 20 yards from goal. Gets it onto her left foot. Tries to get through ball to Carlson. Poked free by Rickards. Drayton now gives pursuit on June. Back to Dubois. Corner of the 18. Left-footed cross on the ground. It gets through. And Florida High puts it in the back of the net. It's a Seminole goal on the far side. It looks to be the senior. I believe it's Annabelle Williamson with the finish, and Florida High will take the 1-0 advantage here in the 51st minute of action. And the Florida High fan base celebrates. Looks like we got a Vuvuzela on scene. Full throat here for Florida High as the senior puts one in the back of the net, and now Florida High takes its advantage. Just an absolute dangerous through ball, the senior-to-senior connection. A left-footed cross on the ground. Dubois to Williamson. Seminoles with the lead. Cycle back around. Now the game changes a little bit. It has now opened up. Rickards, if they want to chase to try to have an equal share of points here tonight, will have to go after it a little bit, which could open things up for Florida High. June with a lot of real estate in the gap in the midfield. She's looking to serve through, looking for Dubois. Full stretch effort by Drayton. Keep it out of trouble. Good defensive play there by Thomas. She'll clear it out of danger. Quick throw coming from June as they try to cycle it in. Hernandez will stretch it down. Back to June. Left-footed control, right-footed drop-off here to the back line. As Florida High will cycle it around. Perez, Garcia Souffrant getting some touches here defensively. And I believe it's Cabezas on the far side, number 10. Over there in that right back position, only playing 3 in the back. Dubois now service in the midfield. Dangerous diagonal through ball. Almost gets through. Drayton up to the task there. Clearance there by Brooks. Florida High now giving pursuit look to cycle around. Hassan putting some pressure on the back line now. But Florida High looking to go on a counterattack. They got a little numbers here if they want to run for it. Dubois once again puts it on the ground. Pierce in the middle. And McIntosh, another great save to her right. Good challenge there by Drayton. Pierce in a very dangerous positioning. But once again, McIntosh a fantastic save. And will stay 1-0 here from Mike Hickman Stadium. Over the top, June Will to win this one. Pierce back on the attack here. She's had a great start to the second half so far. Back to Pierce, some touches. She'll look to turn, right-footed service. Won well initially by Rickards, Kai Williams, and then Drayton will give the ultimate clearance here for Raiders. Dropped on back here, last touch by Perez, and cycled around here for Florida High. Garcia Souffrant getting some touches there. Cabezas on the far side. Threads it through. Once again, Florida High an opportunity to attack here. They had a little 4-on-6 matchup, but it looks like they will pull it back, and we will take a water break here. Florida High strikes pay dirt by way of the senior here about midway through the second half, and so Florida High taking the advantage, 1-0, 54th minute of action here from Florida High. We're going to jump out for a quick commercial break. Come back on the other side.
Marijuana can impair your ability to drive, and that affects much more than just you. Drive baked, get busted.
And back here for the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week here. First half of the doubleheader coming up. And finally breaking through here, 51st minute. Looks like Annabelle Williamson here getting it to go in the back of the net. Service and assist from her fellow senior, Ava Dubois. Of course, McNeese State will look forward to more assists like that next year, as Dubois has already committed to a scholarship offer. So cool to see her going on, pursuing a collegiate career here in soccer, but still wants to continue on and stretch out this senior season as long as possible. 10-1-1 Rickards Raiders in their toughest matchup of the season here against Florida High. According to the Max Preps rankings, the highest profile team that they've battled this season, holding on the back line very well. Just a great piece of class here for the Florida High Seminoles. So the senior connection was the only way they could climb the Rickards defensive mountain here so far tonight. But Florida High has been relentless on the attack, has held the vast majority of possession, and the majority of the game has been played in the Rickards defensive half. Let's see what we have here after the water break. Some potential changes here. Drayton will stay on the back line here for the Raiders. The potent goal scorer, player on your short list. Here, your Big Bend Player of the Year nominees, you got to think. It'll be out for a corner here for Florida High. Dubois going to take it from the far side. He's going to play it short on over the corner of the 18. A little give and go with Garcia Sofrant. Back to Dubois, service coming with the right foot, able to land one well. I believe it's Hernandez. Shot attempt with the left foot twist just over the top of the crossbar. And I believe that's Ivy Carlson with the shot attempt. Like we said, having a great second half here, been very productive and dangerous on the offensive attack is number 11, Ivy Carlson. Number 12 for the Rickards Raiders, Patrice Drayton going to get us going here once again. 56th minute as we have just about 14 minutes to go here in this contest. Served out wide for June. She's really had a fantastic second half here tonight. Won well by Thomas, centering ball. Kai Williams gets a touch. Dubois now trying to control in the middle of the park. Stepping up is Williams, spills out. June pursued by Hernandez, each getting a touch here. June able to drop it off to Martinez. Coming in is Brooks. Williams able to spill it out of danger, and it looks like it'll be finished off there by Drayton, out for a Florida High throw-in here on the near side. Ball boy does a good job of giving it to a quick service here as June looks to spill it in. It'll be cycled back around here for Florida High. Flurry with some touches, and now will be cycled around as Morgan Johnston getting in the mix as well here for Florida High. Tries to thread it through over on the far side. Good through ball. Drayton in the area for Rickards defensively. Able to spill it out. Carlson looking to go quick here for Florida High on the far side. She'll get it rolling centrally as this one won back by Rickards. They would have poke it free, but chased down well here by Florida High as Brooks giving chase for the Rickards Raiders. Garcia Sofrant being troubled here, but able to control and distribute back to Fleury as the back three for Florida High gets reorganized. Threaded through to Dubois. Looking for some service, right-footed ball to Williamson. Drayton does well to win that one and will clear it with the left foot. And it looks like it'll be a throw-in over on the far side here for Florida High. About 10 yards from goal. This one will be cycled back around out of the corner of the 18. Dubois, nice give and go, looking for a centering ball with Williamson, June, and Pierce in the 6-yard box, but Rickards stepping in front, but it will create an opportunity for a Florida High corner. It looks like Natalia Garcia Sofrant going to take it for Florida High. Little right-footed outswinger. So this one will be spinning back away from the goal. Dubois able to get a right foot on top of it. Rickards able to clear. Back to Garcia Sofrant, does well to keep it in play. Service once again, looking for Williamson, Pierce, and McIntosh in the area, able to scoop it up. So we get into the 59th minute, 11 and change left here in this game. 1-0 Florida High. Florida High been relentless on the attack, but the Rickards wall, except for a brief moment of greatness by the Florida High senior tandem, broke it down, and the only puncture that we've seen against the Rickards defense here tonight. Cleared through onto the back line. Pursuit given by Brooks. On over back to Garcia Sofrant. Of course, against this young Florida High team, average age 14 years old for the varsity squad. This one's threaded through, looking for Carlson. Shielded well on the far side, but Carlson able to keep it in play. It'll be cleared out for a Florida High corner. Like we said, Florida High graduating 12 seniors last year. 4 more seniors this year, but a lot of youth and a lot of middle school age players getting in the mix. Left-footed cross, dangerous positioning, looking for Pierce. But just a little too tall to be out for a Rickards goal kick once again here as we get to the 60th minute of Florida High. About 10 to go for the Raiders and the Seminoles, which has been a tight all Big Bend contest here tonight. Rickards defense standing tall. Once again, Annabelle Williamson in the 51st minute, giving us our only score of the game so far. June tries to settle it down. Martinez bringing in Brooks, does well to win it for the Rickards Raiders. And now Martinez tries to thread it through in the defending third. Kai Williams, who's had a great game there on the defensive midfield here. She played a lot of striker in the first half, now kind of settled into that kind of stopper defensive midfield position, holding midfielder here for Rickards. Has really kept a lot of the central attack at bay. One of the reasons why Florida High has tried to go outside so much here in the second half. And one of those outside chances from Dubois creating the greatness that was the goal here tonight. Martinez, nice little turn. Looking for June on the outside. She'll look to settle. Slide it back around here. Centering ball for Florida High and getting some touches once again. Johnston and Squad on the back line. Player down. Cabezas just bounds over her like a track star on the hurdles as Florida High able to maintain possession. Thomas coming in. Spilled this one free, but collected back by Florida High. Looking to thread it through. Carlson back to goal, looking to turn. Dubois now about 30 yards from goal. Left-footed cross gets deflected. It's going to bounce inside the box. Butterfield's there to head it initially. Carlson giving pursuit. Secondary defense and reinforcements for Rickards forcing the drop-off. And Rickards will spill this one free momentarily. Now on the fringe of the attacking third, here's Dubois. Right-footed shot attempt from distance. And McIntosh, once again, fantastic positioning here in the 62nd minute. And about 8 minutes to go here from Florida High. Still 1-0. McIntosh been impressive here tonight. Brought down by Brooks. Tries to turn. June is in the area. Russell squares it off, looking for Dubois. Clearance out by Rickards. Coming to the near side, and it is out of play for a Florida High throw. So June will look to take the throw here. Able to get it to Russell. Swears it off to Dubois. Cleared out well here by the Rickards defense. Brooks giving chase. Threads it through well. Good play by Fleury. June for Martinez. Able to stay onside, and here comes Drayton to clean it up. And it looks like she's going to try to launch a counterattack near the near side. She has a little avenue. Tries to thread the needle, and just the entire ball over the end line. But Patrice Drayton, of course, saw the skill there. Inches away from something very, very dangerous. Florida High in June will look to get things going once again. Dubois, service centrally. On up to the task comes Beamer. Hernandez tracking it back, but it's won by Dubois. Looking for some service. She cuts it back centrally. Right-footed shot attempt. McIntosh, good positioning. Rebound is still alive, but McIntosh does well to collect it. 64th minute. About 6 to go here. Another save by McIntosh. How about the shot attempt by Dubois from distance? Thomas with a little touch here. Brooks will collect it on the front end here for Rickards. Able to get back Cabezas. But Cabezas does well to recover and put some pressure on the far side there. And it'll be out of play back to Florida High. So you see some glimpses here from Rickards. Trying to pick and choose when they go forward on the counterattack. And if it stays at 1-0, you only need one moment to get it through and share the spoils here on a Friday night on senior night. But as it stands, the 51st minute goal from Williamson, the difference, out here for Florida High, 64th minute. Here from Mike Hickman Stadium on campus down in Southwood, southeast side of the capital city of the Sunshine State. Appreciate you piping in with us to join, whether it's live or on demand here at the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. Andrew Joop giving you the action here tonight. Fun contest here between Florida High and Rickards. Of course, neither of these teams in the same classification, so they would not play again. If they're both able to advance to the postseason, we'll not see each other in districts. So a unique challenge, a last chance before the district tournament to get rolling here as we get into the 65th minute, 4 and change here at Florida High. Will we get any more goals? Will we go back to level pegging? Or will Florida High widen the gap here with the 1-0 advantage? Deflection's going to get into a dangerous area. McIntosh off the line. And she's up to the task. 66th minute. In this all Big Bend affair. Nice boot by McIntosh, collected by Cabezas. She clears and then recovers here on the second ball. Squared off to Martinez. Back there to Fleury. Through ball. Looking for Russell. And Rickards is able to clear. Thomas looking to control on the fringe of the defending third. Little bit of real estate. She tries to get out of trouble. Ref says play on. Nothing doing there. Threads it through. Nice little piece of counterattack. Martinez now in the wide area. Pursuit for Rickards all over Martinez. Good defense there by Pompey. Through ball is Drayton. Lets this one go all the way out of play. Here as we get into the 67th minute. As we have a substitution coming here for Rickards. And you wonder if Coach Rauschenberg's going to give Drayton an opportunity to go up top and try to have an opportunity to put number 41 in the season in the net. And maybe try to steal spoils here at Florida High. Unofficially 2:48 to go. Here from the girls' game, as this one goes over the top, June does well to win it. Looks to settle it down. Opportunity to serve. She avoids the challenge by Thomas. Dangerous looking through ball to Dubois. June collects it. And it's going to be a shot on target, requiring a save here from McIntosh. Just 2 minutes and change here to go between Rickards and Florida High. This one closes in on the end here. Highly fought contest. It's Florida High coming back, trapping this one off back to June. June and Russell. Some nice play between the two of them. Fleury centering ball. Here to Garcia Sofrant. On up to Cabezas. Nice little overlapping run there to Garcia Sofrant. Looking to serve, and a strong challenge there by Rickards. And ball is still in play. Florida High able to control. Back to Cabezas. Squared ball here. Looking to turn. Johnston threads it through here into the attacking third. Looking to send is Dubois. 25 yards from goal. Shot attempt. Skips just wide. Dangerous right-footed attempt there by the McNeese State commit. And, of course, unofficially, about 90 seconds here by my count. We'll see if the referee agrees. Quick whistle in the first half. Wasted no time. We'll see if that continues. Drayton trying to organize here from the back. Wonder if there's one last spell, one last opportunity for Rickards. Florida High has been absolutely relentless all night, pressuring the offensive attack. 3 points on the table here for Florida High. And on senior night, Florida High is able to prevail and come away victorious here in an abbreviated contest as we go 70 minutes of action here tonight. Of course, on Florida High senior night. Like we said, 51st minute goal from Williamson is the difference in this contest, and Florida High coming away with their 9th win of the season here. Now victors of 5 of their last 7 games. So a solid showing here by Florida High. And Rickards on the other side, of course, suffering just their second defeat on the season of the 13-game slate as we get things finalized here. But as you can see, all is in the book here for the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. Here, of course, the first half of the doubleheader. This being the girls' matchup, which, as you can see, was Florida High and Rickards. Of course, as we snap back here, just want to give you a little post-game update or post-match update here from Florida High. Of course, a fantastic contest between the Rickards Raiders and the Florida High Seminoles. Of course, we wondered what we were going to get tonight. Biggest test here for the Rickards Raiders on this season. Florida High on the other side going against a 10-win squad on senior night. So a lot of emotions, a lot of things at stake here. Rickards Raiders, I was impressed here. Defensively, led by Drayton. There in the sweeper position, really locking it down as the center back. And then, of course, McIntosh in goal, keeping this one very, very close. But on the other side, you got to give it up to the senior connection. Of course, the McNeese State commit, Ava Dubois, able to connect with Annabelle Williamson in the 51st minute of the second half. And that, of course, was your difference. I thought Florida High played very well. The 3-5-2 seems to work. You got the youngsters on the back line that were able to lock it down, really controlled the ball with those 5 midfielders. And I think Coach V will be pretty pleased by the performance here tonight as they get ready to rock and roll. Both of these teams headed towards their district tournament, both of them still an opportunity in their respective classifications to go forward and push through into the postseason. Of course, don't go away on us yet. Just because it's the post-match, come right on back. Momentarily, we're going to shut the feed down. We're going to launch it back up here for the boys' game on the Varsity Sports Network. Game 2 of the night. Of course, it's number 7 in the state. The Charles Timberwolves down here visiting the Florida High Seminoles. So come right on back after a quick little shutdown and restart. And we'll get it going here from Florida High. Andrew Joop here on the Varsity Sports Network High School Game of the Week. Come right on back.